In sum total, we sequenced 11 orangutan genomes. The first genome using legacy DNA sequencing technology, and then 10 additional genomes, 5 from the Bornean species and 5 from the Sumatran species, to get some population genetic information and look at the demographics and evolution of the orangutan species themselves. There are two main foci of the paper, if you will. The first is that the orangutan genome compared to the genomes of chimpanzees and humans has been evolving structurally very slowly. It's been structurally stable compared to chimps and humans, and that's an interesting finding in and of itself. Secondly, the population genetic data we found is going to be, I think, a beneficial resource to the conservation community, and it tells us a lot about the evolution of these two species when they split from each other and how diverse those species are. So we developed a catalog of over 13 million genetic variants across the orangutan genome. We have a good idea of what genetic variation is specific to Bornean orangutans and what variation is specific to Sumatran orangutans. Trying to maintain genetic diversity in a zoo, you could see, looking at the genetic profile of all the individuals in zoos that you're friendly with and can trade individuals with, as it were, and maintain genetic diversity by an informed breeding program. From the wild perspective, you can imagine a scenario where conservation dollars are limited, and so you want to prioritize populations for saving based on how much genetic diversity is within those populations. Maybe there's rare genetic diversity that you want to prioritize over some more common diversity that you have covered elsewhere, for example. So having the genetic profile of all these populations would allow you to make that kind of decision and prioritize populations for your conservation dollars. I think the good news from our results is that there's a deep well of genetic diversity left in the wild, as it were, from the individuals that we sampled. And so, conservation efforts, I think, would have a reasonable chance of success compared to some other species that have been thinned down to the point where genetic variation is, the gene pool, if you will, is very shallow. That makes it very dangerous for a species, in a sense. They face a greater chance of extinction when genetic diversity is brought to the razor's edge.